Welcome back, everyone. Nathan, I don't need to use a very common phrase that our generation said, but we're back.
Yeah, no, we're back.
We're so back.
Yeah, it's been a
A
while.
long time.
People, Luke and Jordan have been on vacations. They separated us, but we're back.
Yep. The twins duo is back. We're ready to rock and roll. So we got a pretty decent show for you today. We're going to talk mainly about local weather because there isn't much happening nationwide. Yeah, there's going to be some heat across the lower 48, but I think we really need to focus on what's happening here in northeast Wisconsin over the next, 24, 48 hours. We got a lot going on.
Right. Yes.
Taking you over to the graphics here. So we're just going to do mainly a regional weather update for you guys today. So taking you guys over to the graphics where right now, there it is. We got AirVenture. Have you ever heard of AirVenture before you got here?
Never heard of it before.
So essentially, this is a weeks-long aviation event. So down there at Whitman Airfield, it's actually the air traffic control tower is labeled the world's busiest air traffic control tower because they're dealing with hundreds and hundreds of arrivals every day,
Right.
and also air shows.
Okay.
So it's a big air show. Like they have air shows every day at 2:15. I think a little bit earlier on Sunday, and then they have two nighttime air shows, Wednesday night and Saturday night. So it's really cool.
Yeah, I've never heard of it before, and everybody suddenly in a couple days, this was the whole talk. Everybody was in love with this thing. So
yeah, this is one of my favorite weeks, and AirVenture, or when the summer is going by when AirVenture week comes around.
Yeah.
So looking like a pretty beautiful day to start down there in AirVenture. 75 in Oshkosh, south wind at about 10 miles per hour. Temperatures across northeast Wisconsin already climbing close to our average. Our average is 81, and we are in the lower to middle 70s. And then just a little cooler in a few locations at the pier in Kewanee, up there in Washington Island, 68 in Antigo, are known cool locations to start off a day. But dew point temperatures, they're getting a little soupy. They're in the low to mid 60s now, even some upper 60s, and you can probably tell it's going up and up and up the next few days. My AC was off the last 2 days, and she's going to be used the next few days at least.
Right. Yeah. It's going to be not a fun one for my electric bill. That's for sure.
Nope. I can already hear my AC and my
clock.
bill going up and up.
Right.
I'm not a fan. But here's your hour-by-hour dew points for today. Notice as we head towards the peak part of our day in the afternoon, those dew points spike into the upper 60s and even some low 70s. That wouldn't shock me as well, especially during that prime heating day between about 1 and 4 p.m. And then looking at the radar and satellite right now, we are seeing a little bit of cloud coverage. I think this is more middle and high level clouds, or probably mid-level clouds. So you might see the sun get, blocked out by some clouds from time to time today. But I think we'll see some decent amount of sunshine as we head throughout the day. Some of the cloud coverage might start to fizzle out a little bit. I haven't really looked too much at the modeling data so far today. Me and Nathan both got stuck, but there was a boat going through the Fox River, so both of us got stuck this morning, so we got in a little bit later than what we wanted to. But either way, we do have this complex of showers and storms working through far northern Minnesota into the Arrowhead and even to the Dakotas as well. I had this in my forecast yesterday of grazing the Wisconsin UP border, but it does look, based on the track right now, it's taking a little bit more of a northerly track. So I do think we are going to stay dry today. We just might see a little bit of cloud coverage from this system. So AirVenture forecast calling for a mixture of sun and clouds. I do think that's a little aggressive, calling for mostly sunny skies and a completely sunny sky around 6 to 8 o'clock. But I think overall, 2 o'clock, we have our daily air show. Should go on as planned. No big, ceiling restrictions with the cloud coverage. About 83, partly cloudy, maybe mostly cloudy conditions for a time. But the big story today is that bump up in humidity with those dew points closing in on 70.
For that humidity, it'd be a pretty nice day throughout the entire day here, because 83 is pretty comfortable for a summer day.
Yeah, our average is 81, so we're looking like we're just a few degrees above that. But we add in the mugginess. That's the big problem today. So looking at Futurecast, here's 5 o'clock, where I did have some showers and storms grazing far northern Wisconsin, so up towards, say, Forest, Florence County, there we go, and then far northern Marinette County, maybe into the UP. I think our rain chance is low today. We might just see a mixture of some sun and clouds. And then for tonight, we're looking pretty good. I think we'll see just partly to mostly clear skies, and we should see a relatively uneventful night. Now, wind speeds today should be pretty light. I do think as that system passes a little close to us around, say, the evening, Our winds might kick up a little bit, maybe 10 to 15 miles per hour, but nothing too strong on the winds there. I do think, though, with being out on the water, they don't deal with a lot of friction, so the winds will kick up a little bit more, especially the nearshore waters of Lake Michigan, where we do have a south wind 10 to 20 knots, 2 to 4 footers, which on the nearshore waters of Lake Michigan, that can be a little choppy.
Yeah.
That's why we do have a small craft advisory and a beach hazard statement because of the potential of some choppy waves, but also the potential for some rip currents as well on area beaches. So if you're going out to the beach today, while it is a decent day for it, just keep that in mind if you are going out on the water. I would keep it more to the Bay of Green Bay, maybe your interior lakes, go to Ashwaubenon Park, something like that. Some sort of water body, but, away from the nearshore waters. Here's your high temperatures today, about 84 in Green Bay. With that south wind component, since some of those communities like Manitowoc and Sturgeon Bay, you kind of jet right out with a south wind component. You cool down a little bit. Sheboygan will get to about 79, but most of us lower to middle 80s, maybe closing in on 90 if you're down there in Wapaka and Watoma. I think this is really all cloud coverage dependent, whether we do actually, and it won't be a seasonal day. I forgot to change that this morning. My apologies. It's been a busy start to my morning, but today, mix of sun and clouds. Not comfy and not seasonal. That's what I meant to put, I guess. Those are not the words to describe today's forecast. And we will see in the extended forecast is comfy and seasonal will be taking a back seat.
Yeah,
that's for sure.
It's not going to be around for quite a while.
It's going to be about a week stretch where we'll have these muggy dew points, these hot temperatures. So get used to it. Just put your head down and just keep rolling through it, right? But here's your almanac for today. Notice, like I said, we're a few degrees above our average. Look at that overnight low. 71. That's 10 degrees off our average high. That's how you can tell it's going to be a warm one. We'll be about 10 degrees above our average low. Now, we won't be hitting records. I'll have to look into more what the records are around tomorrow. I'll put that together for my noon show forecast or my 4 o'clock forecast. But I'll have to check and see if we're going to be close to record highs tomorrow. But that's actually a pretty low record, 94, 19, 18. That's a breakable record, but we're not going to be near that today. Sunrise 5:29, and then sunset. You mentioned last week that we're into the 8:20 sunsets now.
Yeah, we're not going to have any more after 8:30. And look at our sunrise. We're almost at 5:30. So I'm up before the sunrise most mornings.
Yeah, he's up at 3 o'clock in the morning. So when he fills in for the morning show, it makes it so much easier.
It's so much nicer for me because then my work day is done at 11. I have my whole afternoon. I don't like to sleep. I have plenty of time to sleep when I'm old and I'm in my,
Well, if you want to fill in for me on Sunday mornings, let me know.
Gotcha. Take the whole weekend off.
I'm kidding. I wouldn't do that. But so main weather headlines today: humidity and heat return, chance of storms tomorrow, heat indices are reaching nearly 100. That's coming pretty soon. That could be as early as tomorrow. But we have to talk about two kind of aspects of the weather forecast. The first one is our storm potential. Now, you see tomorrow, we do have an elevated risk for some severe weather, especially, say, north and west of a line from Marinette over to Shawano. So this includes Wausau, Rhinelander, Mountain, Iron Mountain, Medford. Those are the communities that have to be on higher alert. Yeah, you do see a low risk for severe weather in Green Bay and the Fox Valley. I think this is kind of a two-folded thing where the morning could be a little bit on the stronger side, but I think for Green Bay and the Fox Valley, but then that focus shifts to the northwoods into the late afternoon, into the evening. So that's where I think the strongest round will be. So if you don't see anything for the morning hours in Green Bay and the Fox Valley, I think we're looking pretty good into the rest of the day as we get what's called a capping inversion that sets up and that prevents any storms from developing. But it looks like it breaks down into the northwoods for the later half of the day. But main threats will be, it's going to be mainly a damaging wind threat. That's going to be the scenario here where we'll have some pretty gusty winds a little bit above the surface. So the main impacts will be damaging winds. I don't see a big hail threat. When you get what's called these mesoscale convective systems, you don't really get a big hail threat. With them, it's going to be more of a damaging wind, cloud-to-ground lightning, torrential downpour. And you do see here that tornado probability is non-zero in the northwoods. I could happen. We could get a little spin up, but strong, long tracking tornadoes definitely not in the cards here. And I think the overall tornado probability tomorrow is looking pretty low. That's the good news. But I wouldn't be shocked till we get a severe thunderstorm warning with that tag of tornado possible. It wouldn't completely shock me, but I think overall we don't need to worry too much about that happening for tomorrow.
Did we ever get an update on that tornado that happened? Was it Saturday?
It was Saturday. Yes, we are still waiting on the details.
Still waiting on the details for that?
Yeah. So we had that. When we get the details, I'll kind of explain as to
Right.
why I think it did form. The Weather
Hmm.
Service obviously didn't warn it,
Right.
and I can understand why. But
Yeah.
I will once we hear the details on that, probably later today or tomorrow.
Hmm.
When we jump on tomorrow, we should have an update. So I'll talk about
Right.
what exactly I think happened. I was off. I was driving back from the Milwaukee Air and Water Show, which was
Right.
awesome. Try to get down there next
Yep.
year. Certainly a must see. But I'll talk about that more in detail tomorrow. So let's roll through Futurecast. So this is the HRRR model from this morning, and you can see that this one's indicating a cluster of some showers and storms will roll through the morning. Other models are pushing this a little bit further north. So there is some discrepancy as to what will happen for the morning hours tomorrow. This is going to be along that warm front. So
Hmm.
we'll see how this plays out. I'll certainly bring you guys an update at noon and 4 today, and then also tomorrow as well. But as we head towards the midday hours, we'll get what's called a capping inversion. Essentially, what that means is it prevents any storms from forming, but then it starts to break down across the northwoods, and we'll see clusters of showers and storms running up along Highway 8, where we do have that elevated risk for some severe weather tomorrow for the late afternoon, rather, going into the evening. But I do think we see a quiet end to our Thursday. Then the focus shifts to possibly more storms flaring up in and around Green Bay and the Fox Valley. A few of those could be on the stronger sides, so heads up to those that are going to AirVenture on Thursday. So here's your high temperature map tomorrow. 91 in Green Bay, 92 at Oshkosh, 94 Wapaka, Princeton 94, Lakeside. That's the place to be tomorrow.
Yeah.
81 in Sturgeon Bay and Algoma, 82 Manitowoc. Go to Two Rivers, Neshota Beach, or go up to the Door Peninsula. They have some pretty decent beaches up there as well. 85 in Iron Mountain, 74 in Washington Island. But the big story is going to be not just the heat, but those dew points. How about mid 70s dew points? That's tropical.
That is my nightmare. That is totally my nightmare. I'm
Yep.
ready for January, like December, January. I'm ready for winter. I've
Mm,
had enough of summer. I'm completely done with it.
I don't agree with that take, but
No.
that's because he's a Yankees fan, so that makes sense.
Come on.
Anyway, so yeah, you can see it's going to get pretty tropical. If you're begging to go to Florida, you don't even have to leave. You can just stay here.
Right,
91 over 77.
Right.
That's Florida, baby.
Yeah,
That's
they
what we
got,
want.
like the snowbirds are like, oh, we're gonna go farther north for the summer. It's still hot.
Yeah.
This isn't refreshing.
No. This is disgusting, to say the least. But anyway, looking at the heat indices or what your body will feel, look at those triple digits from the Wisconsin UP border all the way down to Fond du Lac, low 100s. Like I said, the place to be. Hopefully we can get a lake breeze tomorrow. Feeling like 80 in Sturgeon Bay, 82 in Manitowoc. We do have an extreme heat watch, rather. I almost said the older expression, excessive heat watch. It's extreme heat watch for right now Green Lake, Marquette, Fond du Lac, Sheboygan counties. That goes into effect tomorrow morning through Thursday at 7 p.m. I do expect this to be expanded through much of their viewing area. Green Bay Weather Service is taking a little bit of extra time to look at the numbers, but I do expect some sort of maybe heat advisory or excessive heat watch, maybe upgraded to a warning once the confidence is higher. But either way, we should see some heat headlines issued for our viewing areas sometime today for tomorrow going into Thursday. And you can see that this pretty much extends from southern Wisconsin all the way down the Mississippi River. Like from
Yeah,
the
that's a
entire
stretch.
Mississippi River Valley is just lit up in some sort of heat headlines.
Yeah, I mean, we're pushed right down to New Orleans here. I mean, it's it's straight south, just moves right down.
Yeah, it's just a
Ridiculous.
corridor, and then even into portions of Florida and
Right.
Georgia as well.
We hit a lot of great places: Chicago, St. Louis, Memphis.
Yeah.
All the important ones.
Absolutely. So, big day tomorrow, of course. I know you are a Packers fan.
Yes.
I am not. I am a diehard Patriots fan, but I'm a supporter. I've been to games, and I've certainly given them the kiss of death with 2 losses versus the Lions and the Bears. So, I should probably stay away once again this year. But that's here nor there. Tomorrow, Packers training camp. I hope those players have plenty of water. I mentioned that chance for a thunder shower when it kicks off at 10:30, but I think most of the practice should be dry. Just the big story is the humidity and the warmth. About 84, 86. At least they won't be practicing during the peak part of the heating.
No, right. I mean, with it being a little bit earlier in the day, it kind of works out for them, but it's still going to be so humid out there,
Yeah,
even at those hours.
I don't think they're in pads yet, so I guess that's
Yeah.
one relief is that they're not in full pads yet.
Right. It definitely helps, but I don't do the heat, so still a no for me.
Yeah, absolutely. So we'll take a quick break, and then we will come back, and we'll kind of look at more of the extended forecast coming up. But stay tuned. Storm Team 5 Plus will be back with you in just a few minutes. All right, well, I guess our break feature is not working today. So we're just going to start talking because we're two meteorologists and a bunch of nerds. So we'll just get going with it and we'll have some fun. We'll try to fill the next, say, 13 minutes here on Storm Team 5 Plus. So looking at the extended forecast over the next 10 days, more often than not, it's going to be warm and it's going to be humid. 91 on Wednesday. Then that system will drop through. Usually a cold front drops our temperatures. Unfortunately, this one doesn't look like it's going to do too much to our temperatures.
Yeah.
It looks like it'll be, maybe cooling us down to the mid 80s for Thursday, Friday, Saturday. And then we jump back up into the upper 80s and low 90s for Sunday. I haven't looked into the end of weekend forecast. That might be a little optimistic. A lot of times when you look at modeling data, it's trends what's called down to climo in the long term. So that might be a little bit underdone for Sunday and Monday. We'll have to see if that, or I should say, trends it to climatology. I went a little nerdy there, but it trends the data towards the climatology when it's actually might be a little bit warmer than what the models are indicating. So Sunday, Monday, it might be closer to the lower 90s then. And then I think if you're looking for the relief, hold on until this time next week. I do think dew points or temperatures start to tumble down into the low 80s and then eventually the mid 70s to end off the month.
If you really want to make it seem far away, you can say next month, because we're at the end there. Say next month is when it'll cool down.
You really have to do that to me?
Yeah, next month.
You're so
it's like
corny.
the guy who's like, I'll see you next year, but it's like New Year's Eve.
Don't ever do that again. Stick to the weather,
down.
pal.
Okay. I'll come back next month.
Yeah. Take a week off.
Right.
Yeah. Go back to New York. Right?
I've been here like 4 weeks. I think I deserve it.
Yeah. Right. Exactly. So yeah, look at these dew point trends over the next 10 days. Upper 60s, lower to middle 70s for that is a week stretch. And like I mentioned, 30th and 31st. Put those on the calendar as the days that you are looking for, getting ready for some more comfy weather. Mid 70s over upper 50s. That's what we like to see.
Yeah, that is nice. That's when I'll actually walk outside again and not be a hobbit inside of my apartment, because then I can enjoy that. You know?
Absolutely. And then looking at, so here's something that someone on social media, Green Bay Gobbler, I think his name is on Twitter, suggested us talk about this because this is important, right?
Yeah.
We may have pets. I know you have cats, but you don't take them outside very much, right? They're inside
indoor.
dwellers.
Yeah.
Yeah. But this is more for the poochies, the dogs. If it's too hot for your hands, it's too hot for them, correct?
Yes.
So if air temperature of 80, the concrete's about 95, asphalt about 115, 85, asphalt's 130. Let's go up to where we'll be tomorrow. Air temperature of 90, concrete's about 125, asphalt 140, and then air temperature of 95, which some of us could hit that, like we saw.
Yeah.
Concrete about 140, asphalt 155 degrees. So that is way too hot. So this might be the time that it's not going to be the greatest time to take the dog out for the walk. It's probably the best times would be the morning and then the late evening, like around sunset. Those would be your times to take the dog out for a walk. But middays, no. You let them sit in the air conditioning. Same thing with us as well, because it's gonna be way too hot out there, to say the least.
Yep.
But your cats will be okay since they like to sit at home.
Yeah, they sit in the window all day, watch the birds. They have a hard life,
I think Luke posted on Facebook a few weeks ago of Benny, his dog, where just got done with a 6-hour sleep, walks out of the bedroom at 7:30 and immediately starts sleeping. How?
Yeah, that's how my cats are. They sleep like 20 hours of the day.
Yeah. And why did I get so unlucky?
I know. Why do I have to be a human, not a cat?
Exactly. Right?
Drew the short straw.
We got so unlucky, but I'm kidding. We're meteorologists here in Green Bay. I think we're looking pretty lucky.
Yeah. No, this is pretty lucky.
Yeah. So what is driving this weather pattern? That's obviously the big question when we get these weather patterns. And you hear the word ring of fire, and you immediately go, uh oh, we're all in trouble. And that's just the weather term that people in the past have called it. So essentially, this ring of fire pattern, what happens, we get big time ridging in the upper winds. Then we have surface high pressure set off just to our south and east, in the in and around the Ohio River and Mississippi River Valley. And since the Gulf is wide open, the water temperatures I think are in the upper 80s to low 90s right now. It's approaching peak summer season. The Gulf has plenty of moisture to tap into. So you see how high pressure works in a clockwise manner. It's grabbing those muggy dew points, those warm temperatures, and just feeding them into much of the lower 48. And that ridge pattern just lifts all the way into northern Canada. So that's what brings in the heat, humidity. But then there's another aspect to it, and that's the storm track. Storm track usually sets up to the northern edge of high pressure, north and east of high pressure. So you get, storms riding in right off the Rockies, taking a northerly track, and that brings it right into the western Great Lakes. So when you have the heat, you have the humidity. Unfortunately, that spells, potential for some stronger to possibly severe storms. Looks like overall we're going to be unscathed. Like I said, we could get a little stronger to possibly severe storms tomorrow in the Northwoods, but we'll have to monitor and see how this all plays out because you just never know. Right. It's something we have to monitor each and every day for sure.
Those warm waters are great when you're talking vacation, but when you're talking like weather, I feel it's always not in your favor. I went to college near Buffalo, New York.
Yeah.
Warm water, they love their lake effect snow there. We just saw a tropical system push up through the Gulf. And now we're talking this with the ring of fire with warm water once again.
Yep. And then obviously, has the tropics been active at all? I haven't heard anything about the tropics.
I haven't heard too much about the tropics being active.
Yeah. But still early in the season. I think the tropic season peaks, like late August into September and early October?
Yeah, that sounds about right.
When the Bermuda High starts to break down and you can start to get a lot more waves moving off of the Western Africa coastline. So, yeah, I think, it's still early in the season. It's still July. But there's been known to have some pretty catastrophic hurricanes in the late August season. So, so that's where our weather pattern is right now. So you can see here over in the Climate Prediction Center 6 to 10 day outlook, you can just see about 85 to 90% of the country is going to experience at, above, or significantly above average temperatures. You were mentioning this morning when we were getting this together. This might be the best time to be in like Las Vegas, LA, San Francisco, huh?
Right, yeah. I mean, I've never been like, I prefer to go to Southern California because it's cooler there. When am I ever going to say that? So you're looking at it here now, and they're a little bit cooler as you go out to the West Coast. Then you go, a little bit farther up into Maine. You might be right on par, but I mean, right in the center of the U.S. here, we have that big pink circle. It's kind of hard to miss that.
Yeah, absolutely. And then looking a little bit further down the line, this is the 8 to 14 day outlook, still indicating that the ridge pattern will still be around for, I think we had the wrong dates there, July 19th to August 4th. Maybe I put something wrong there, but that might be July 29th to August 4th. That's probably my bad. Oopsies. It looks like we still have a little bit of a ridging pattern over the western tier of the United States, but the place to be might be where I'm from, the Northeast. Beautiful Boston, beautiful Providence, up there in Maine, New Hampshire, even where you're from as well, in New York. This might be the time to head back home. I'm heading home in about 3 or so weeks, so I'm hoping that it's not going to be too hot and we can get a beach day in, because I have not been to my beaches in about 2 years. So I'm hoping we can get a beach day in. But either way, it looks like that ridging pattern starts to break down a little bit in intensity, but still brings in some warmth to much of the country here into the early part of August. So our 7-day forecast is looking like more humid today. Chance of storms favoring the morning potentially, but more so for the late afternoon and evening across the Northwoods. Chance of storms on Thursday. There looks to be a low-end severe risk for areas south of Green Bay on Thursday. We'll have to see. It's still a little ways out, so you might see that get upgraded. We'll have to watch. I do see some of the potential for an upgrade, but right now the Storm Protection Center keeping us pretty low end for severe risk, but obviously if we have any upgrades, we'll let you know. Friday, looking actually not a bad day. Mostly sunny. It will get a little muggy, obviously. You'll hear us use muggy and warm and hot in pretty substantial times of the next week or so. The weekend, obviously looking forward to the weekend. Do you have any plans this weekend?
I do not. I had such a busy weekend this weekend because the girlfriend moved up here. Her parents were here. I need a relaxation weekend, so probably just a little bit more unpacking because she brought some more stuff. And as hot as it is, I don't know. We'll probably end up at the beach, the quarry, a couple days. Just went to Bay Beach for the first time yesterday and saw all the rides and stuff. So maybe that'll be in the planner. It's a little hot, but
I'm trying to find my days to go to AirVenture. That's right. I think I'm going to avoid Saturday. Sunday, maybe. Probably would be the day on Sunday because watching the planes leave on Sunday is awesome.
Right.
Like watching them all take off.
Right.
Was really cool.
Yeah.
You're just seeing them, all depart. It's pretty cool. So I might do Sunday, and I'm trying to go down to the Wednesday night air show. It's something really cool. They do like a drone show, fireworks, and the planes will do their tricks and performances without their lights on.
Right.
Which is really cool. So it starts after sunset.
Okay.
So that's something I would do. So I'm targeting Sunday. Looks like most of the day is dry. We do have to watch for some thunderstorms moving in Sunday night. Some of the modeling is suggesting those could be on the stronger side. So something we have to watch. But then still warm on Monday, about 88 degrees for a high then. And look at those overnight lows. Middle upper 60s and lower to middle 70s for a week stretch. My windows are staying shut. I shut them this morning. Actually, my body woke me up at like 4 o'clock this morning. I was on the Nathan Himsel train this morning.
Yeah.
And it was still like 70. I opened up my windows because it was down in like the 60s last night.
Right.
And it was still pretty warm. It wasn't, I'm on the 3rd floor, so heat rises, of course.
Right.
So I just shut my windows, turned my AC on, and I think she's going to be on for a while because I'm not opening the windows anytime soon.
74, and that humidity is going to hold right through the night. There's no way of having any refreshing air come into the house. It's just not going to happen.
So I brought up, I just brought up Packers training camp coming up on Wednesday. I know you're a Packers fan. Are you going to try to get to training camp at all? Watch your favorite team?
Yes. I think Sunday, I believe they had a training camp session going on. But it is 90 degrees and humid, so I will consider that on Sunday.
Yeah.
It might be the next week after that. I have to, might be one of the later ones.
Have you ever been to training camp?
Not for the Packers. I've been one because I'm from New York, so I've been to the Giants training camp before.
Ugh.
Yeah, that's brutal. I'm not a Giants fan, but I was there.
You know why I say that?
Why is that?
The Super Bowls back in.
Oh yeah, but
broke up the undefeated season.
Yeah,
we're still spiting them.
Yeah,
not fun.
Yep, your one enemy.
Yeah, exactly, and maybe the Jets.
Well, the Jets, they don't have a large enough fan base for us to.
Yeah, I'm clear out here, but they had Aaron Rodgers, so it's fine. But so we got about 20 seconds left, so we'll start to wrap this up in the next few seconds here. But thank you for joining us on our, I guess you could say our welcome back edition of Storm Team 5 Plus. We'll work out some of the kinks here, but tomorrow we'll hopefully have an update on the tornadoes that the tornado that did occur down in Manitowoc County. But we'll certainly bring you an update on the rest of our forecast. So thanks for joining us, and see you tomorrow.